Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you. Thank you for joining us today for this very special occasion. I'm Janet Dudley Eschbach, president of Salisbury University, and I'm extremely pleased to welcome you to today's building dedication ceremony. We are gathered today to celebrate the work and legacy of one of Salisbury University's favorite sons, Delegate Norman H. Conway. By renaming the Teacher Education and Technology Center in his honor. Now, you need to know, when I came to Salisbury back in 2000, as part of our capital projects plan for the next decade, was a building listed as academic building. And, you know, I started thinking about things. I really need to make this building happen, and sooner rather than later. And so we thought, this is an institution that began as a normal school, and I think we have a very influential legislator who might help us make this building reality. Let's call it Teacher Education and Technology Center. And, you know, I do think it's fitting. Unlike many universities, Salisbury University does not really have a front door as such. But if we do have one, it is here on the corner of College Avenue and US Route 13. And so it was important that celebrating the excellence of our teacher education programs over the years, and obviously anytime you open a new building, and this building opened in 2008, everybody wants to teach in that building. So it is not the sole propriety of teacher education and technology, but has served many purposes since it opened in 2008. So before I begin, I would like to take just a moment to recognize some very special individuals joining us today. With me on stage, starting to my left, are Speaker Pro Tem of the Maryland House of Delegates, Delegate Adrienne Jones. Mr. Don Fitzgerald, President of the Wicomico County Board of Education. And last on the stage, but certainly not least, at least he won't feel least after today, right, Norm? Is our man of the hour, SU alumnus and former chairman of the Maryland House of Delegates Appropriations Committee, Delegate Norman H. Conway. We also have members of the Maryland General Assembly in the audience, as well as members of Delegate Conway's family, and family first. So I'm going to say, let's give his mom a big round of applause. She done good. And Norm's brother is with us today, and your sister? I'm sorry, and your daughter. Excuse me. And granddaughter. Great to have you here. Some members of the Maryland General Assembly that are with us today. Senator Addie Eckhart, always in pink. Delegate Chris Adams. Delegate Tawana Gaines. Delegate Charles Otto. Former Senator Rich Colburn representing, yeah, he deserves it as former Senator Colburn is here today representing Secretary of Agriculture Joe Bartenfelder, who is also a member of the System Board of Regents. Former Delegate John Bohannon is here today. And Wicomico County Council President John Cannon. And of course, many other distinguished guests. Well, we thought we'd put out enough chairs, Norm, but I think you can see, and there are a lot of folks standing over here as well. Today's a very big day in the life of Salisbury University. And I have to say, it's one I've been anticipating for quite a few years. When I get an idea in my head, and Robbie Sheehan knows, years ago I said, I'm going to name that building after Delegate Conway. For years, we've wanted to honor the tremendous contributions Norm Conway has made to his alma mater. And with the University System of Maryland Board of Regents approval, we were finally able to make this a reality. Some things take a little bit of time, sometimes more time than we think they should. But for nearly 3 decades, Salisbury University and the entire region had one of the most humble yet influential and effective advocates working on our behalf in Delegate Norm Conway. Norm's efforts were significant in shaping the university's ability to physically grow and expand over the past 15 years. As a member of the Maryland House of Delegates from 1987 to 2015 and chair of the Appropriations Committee from 2003 to 2014, Delegate Conway helped us secure funding for this facility, as well as SU's Patricia R. Guerreri Academics Commons, for which we will cut the ribbon this summer, or early fall, I should say. We want to wait till the students get back. Purdue Hall, Henson Science Hall, the Ward Museum, and Delmarva Public Radio's new headquarters, in addition to many other much-needed projects across the entire Lower Shore and the entire state of Maryland. And he did this despite being what I would call a pretty serious fiscal conservative. And I remember going into his office, and I think he put this chart up maybe just for me. There was a chart that showed the state's fiscal health. So I would walk in and he just would point to that, as if to say, Madam President, don't ask me for too much. You see, we got to be fiscally responsible. It's important to point out that all of the projects that I just listed also provided jobs and much needed business for our local construction industry during the recession. We not only want to recognize Norm Conway's contribution to our campus and region, but the fact that he ensured that every single jurisdiction across the state of Maryland received its fair share of resources. Chairman Conway always emphasized the importance of one Maryland. And in an age when politics, it's remarkable, we're doing this on a day when many Marylanders are voting, except for those of us who are wisely registered independent. In an age when politics has become increasingly negative and characterized by an inability to compromise, Delegate Conway served as an excellent role model for everyone to follow, always putting others before himself. That is the essence of public service. So thank you, Delegate Conway, for your leadership and your example. And now, I'd like to invite to the podium another one of Salisbury University's favorite legislators, a good friend of our institution and of higher education throughout our state, a person who also embodies the true spirit of public service, Speaker Pro Tem of the Maryland House of Delegates, Delegate Adrienne Jones.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is a great day, isn't it? Before I go any further, when introduction was made on Chairman Conway's family, one key important person was left out. We like to call her the First Lady of the Appropriations, Jan Conway.
My name is Mud. Thanks for picking up on that.
And since we were talking about family, you'll see in the front row all the key people that help run appropriations with the chairman. If they would all stand up, Linda, Molly, Helen, everybody, Sandra. Now, the speaker asked me to read this statement. Norm Conway and I started in the House of Delegates, spending nearly 3 decades in public life together. We made fast friends, so when the opportunity presented itself in 2003, I knew that he was the right person to chair the Appropriations Committee. He brought the mantra of One Maryland to every budget decision that he made, presiding over budgets during times of surplus and times of deficit, but always prioritizing education funding for the children of this state above all else. Having Norm chair the Appropriations Committee was also a huge benefit to the Eastern Shore and especially Salisbury University, his alma mater, and a school that Norm dedicated his life to. As you look around today, you can see Norm's imprint on the new buildings across this beautiful campus. I'm sorry I cannot be with you today, but I cannot think of a more well-deserved honor than to recognize Norm's commitment to this university than naming a building after him. And it's from Speaker of the House, Michael E. Bush. Now, but a couple weeks ago, Norm called me. He was calling about one of the bond bills that got passed. And he mentioned to me, he said, you know, you're naming this building after me. And I didn't know whether it was a surprise or not. So I said, yeah, I plan to be there. And he said, well, they're usually done after you have died. And then I reminded him of the Miller building. There also is, prior to him passing, many buildings named after William Donald Schaefer. But I think you're in great company. You don't have to worry about that. So he was, I still call him chairman. I'll call him chairman forever because he was a person that was fair to all. As a matter of fact, he put others way before himself. Even with some of the bond bills, he would be worried about someone else. And I said, Norm, I said, you know, you got to do for you. And he said, oh, make sure all the rest had it. So he did that. That's the type of person he is. And there's many stories, and you're going to hear from others regarding that. He was very, very special and continue to be special to me. There's only one chairman, and that is Norm Conway. And if you would come up, we got a little citation for you from the General Assembly. Put my glasses back on. Even put it in the frame for you. Okay. It said, be it hereby known to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to Norman H. Conway in recognition of your many contributions and passion for education at Salisbury University. Congratulations on being honored by having the Teacher Education and Technology Center at Salisbury University dedicated as Conway Hall and presented on this day. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I'm Don Fitzgerald, President of Wycomico County School Board. And it's an honor to be here for this day. I'm also here with Ron Willey, a member of the board, Dr. Carolyn Elmore. But I'm here as someone that has known Delegate Conway, as some call him chairman, some call him Norm, some call him Mr. Conway. I call him friend. We go way back to the 50s when I was a young man and he crossed my path. And 7 years ago, as I was recuperating from surgery, there was 2 openings on the Wycomico County School Board. And I said, well, I'm gonna call Norm, see what the criteria is to become a board member. And I'll never forget what he told me. I said, Norm, I don't have all the education that a lot of the members have. He said, you don't need that. He said, all the work that you do with the youth of this community is what we need. So with that, he said to me, you need a resume. I said, a what? You see, I'm a retired DuPonter. I didn't know what a resume was. But I have two daughters who graduated from SU, and one of them came over and helped her father out. And with the help of Delegate Conway and the process, Governor O'Malley appointed me. But without the help of Norm Conway, I wouldn't be standing here today. But one of the big reasons I'm here to thank him for all the service to the students of Wycomico County. As a teacher, a vice principal, a principal, supervisor, you do not know how many hearts that you have touched along with Jan. And as you see, I got a little prop here. Today, Dr. Hines decided to do a little surgery on it. And the nurse in there that was working with him, I told her what I had to do this afternoon. And she said to me, Mrs. Conway was my third grade teacher and I loved her to death. So that, all the stuff we do, sometimes we don't know who we touch and how much we touch them. But I'll be willing to say in this community, you have touched many, many, many students that you don't even know about. And to me, that's where the honor comes from. And by putting your name on this building forever, for the teachers to see, it's just mind-boggling to me. As a friend, I know how much you worked. You know, I know you deliver papers to put yourself through Salisbury State College. But the old saying, hard work has results. And with your hard work for the students of this county, across the state of Maryland, it shows with all the people that have come out today to honor you. And from my heart, I want to thank you for all the students that you have touched and all the people that you've helped in this state over the years. Thank you.
Delegate Conway and Jan, I hope we're still friends. On behalf of all of us at Salisbury University, thank you for all that you've done for this university and the entire state of Maryland during your years of service in the Maryland House of Delegates and long before, as you demonstrated your commitment to the future by, as we've heard from Don, by touching so many young hearts and building a foundation for our future. You've truly made our community, region, and the entire state a better place to live, work, and raise families. I'm confident that generations of Marylanders will benefit from the fruits of your labors for centuries to come. Your unwavering support of Salisbury University has made this institution what it is today. We are forever indebted for your leadership, your vision, your wisdom, maybe above all, your character, your integrity, and your diligence in not only providing for our students, but also advocating for facilities such as this one. It's clear that your tireless efforts over your distinguished 27 years of service have established a legacy that will long be celebrated. And if you'll join me up here, Norm. You don't just have to drive by the building. You can look from your living room. With that, by the authority vested in me by the University System of Maryland Board of Regents, be it hereby known that Salisbury University's Teacher Education and Technology Center will now forever be known as Norman H. Conway Hall. Thank you. About years ago, I would do this. Now, I'm going to suggest you make a few remarks. Let me get back to the audience.
Told me a few remarks. So I will do my best to adhere to that, although I have to be honest, it's really overwhelming. And today is truly a wow day. Never in my wildest dream would I have ever thought that my name would be on a building at Salisbury University, my alma mater, and my wife's alma mater. Now, she told me, do not mention my name as being here. So I've mentioned her name because we did meet here. My first association with the State Teachers College at Salisbury was in August of 1961 as a freshman. Now, I sometimes have a hard time realizing the number of years that is going back. But I was planning to work toward a degree in elementary education and looking forward to a career in teaching. And I think I did that primarily because of the teachers that I had, who were all great people. We didn't always agree with each other. They won. But, you know, I would every now and then tell them my side of it. But I was going to plan to work for an elementary education degree and to look forward to a teaching career. Dr. Wilbur Devilbus was the president, and my first convocation was an address by Dr. Devilbus entitled, I Came, I Saw, I Received. And I never forgot it. I could almost go through and script it because it was so impressive, and he was such an impressive individual himself. The professors that we had were not only instructors, but they were also your friends, and they truly were helpful in every way. I still remember all of them, and I could state an example of each for the 4 years that I was here working on that first degree. Graduating in 1965, I got my first job as an elementary teacher just down the street at Pinehurst Elementary School, teaching grade 5 with a class of young people who were just great. And I still remember them today. See them every now and then, and they remind me of what their age is. That's when it's rough. My goal in teaching was to build on the foundation that I received at STC, State Teachers College, here at Salisbury, for working with young people, and have my teaching reflect on the Dewey philosophy of learning by doing, because I felt that was a tremendous way to teach, and it also kept me involved, and they could see me working with the projects as well. My years at Pinehurst Elementary reflect a working, great team of educators who also were tremendously helpful to me in the roles that I experienced as a teacher, a vice principal, a principal, and a supervisor in the county. I had a 40-year career in education with some opportunities to work in community activities that were outside of education, such as the Central Committee, city councilman, and ultimately a state legislator. My role as a state legislator ultimately provided opportunities to help the rural areas of the state as a member, subcommittee chairman, and committee chairman of the Appropriations Committee with the process of budget development. My mentors in preparation for my 11-year role as chairman were former speakers of the House, Clay Mitchell, Eastern Shoreman, Casper Taylor, Western Maryland, and the speaker who appointed me chairman, Mike Bush, who was from Anne Arundel County. But we had known each other since entering the legislature. I've been honored to work with some of the greatest people in our state as a legislator and elected members at all levels of government here on the Eastern Shore. The presidents of Salisbury, at all of its levels of growth, have added dimensions of intellect that have fashioned an institution reflected by its graduates throughout the United States and the world. We can be very, very proud of that. We can be very, very proud of the young people who came, who heard, who received, and who delivered. Dr. Eschbach, I want to thank you for your leadership of Salisbury University and your continuous efforts to make an institution of national and world distinction. And I think you have done that with the staff that you have and have had in your tenure here. Thank you also for all of your efforts to make this event today a reality. I am truly honored. I can't really believe it yet, but I will look at the sign. Promise. Every time I go by. So I appreciate all of you. The numbers of folks who have joined us today to celebrate not only this structure and what goes on in it, but what it means to our community and to our region. I felt very strongly that the rural institutions needed help. UMES, Salisbury, Towson, Frostburg, and wanted to make sure that they were in the lineup as we went through. And I have to say that my vice chairman, Delegate James Proctor, who unfortunately died a year and a half ago, also had the same kind of feeling about education that I did. A very easy person with whom to work because our goals were unbelievably the same in so many things. I'm really pleased today that the staff came down and joined us on Maryland's Eastern Shore. You will feel so good when you go back. But let me just say that so many friends here and people with whom I've had the opportunity to work, I deeply appreciate all the support that I have been able to garner and have and enjoy over the years. It's been very fast, but all good things, do come to a close. And I want to say again to all of you, thank you so much for coming out and for being here. Now, I have a couple of other folks. I saw Tracy and Phyllis, my sister-in-law, and our niece, who are here also. Tremendous family that I married into, the Hastings family at Laurel. I say that because they always took my side over Jan. And that told me a lot from the beginning. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Dr. Eschbach. I appreciate this.
You're the best. You're supposed to go for me. Thank you.